elite hypocrisy, Republican Teamsters, and the Democrats' responsibility. Well now, folks, let me tell you something that's been sitting heavy on my chest. There's a lot of talk these days about hard work and pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. But behind all that noise, there's a bunch of folks, Republicans, corporate Democrats, even some unions, that turn their backs on the people who actually built this country. Laborers, immigrants, veterans, you name it. And that ain't just wrong. It's a war. A war on labor, health, and plain old justice. Here's the first thing. Republicans shouldn't be sitting in government if all they want to do is tear it down. They're talking fat paychecks, cozying up to unions, and then voting to gut workers' protections. And unions? Well, some of you forgotten who you're fighting for. Where are y'all when it comes to immigrant laborers? These folks build this nation with their bare hands, but they're treated like cattle, locked up in for-profit prisons, while politicians look the other way. That's what I call shameful. Now, here's where it gets even worse. Those same politicians bash immigrants, then turn around and say SSDI is going broke because there ain't enough young workers. But instead of letting young immigrants stabilize these systems, they funnel them into what I call the incarceration nation. Prisons for profit, human lives traded like cattle at auction, and the people making the decisions, they don't lose a wink of sleep over it. And what about injured workers and pain patients? They've got their own war to fight. Conservative doctors, protected by state immunity and medical boards, are refusing to treat them, robbing them of SSDI, workers' comp, and VA benefits. These doctors live above the law, while their victims get punished just for speaking out. That's healthcare turned into a weapon, and it's got to stop. And don't get me started on the Christian hypocrisy. Real men of God don't harm immigrants. The Bible says to welcome the stranger, plain and simple. But here in America, faith's been twisted into a tool for oppression. And Donald Trump? He's out there selling Bibles for profit while his policies hurt the very people God calls us to protect. If that ain't mockery, I don't know what is. Now listen close, unions. Quit playing both sides. You can't serve labor while backing Republicans and corporate Democrats.